My name is Michael Reid and welcome to the Art Fair Preview Berlin. We're in a new venue which is absolutely kind of post-industrial and fantastic. This entire experience is so Berlin. I hope this very short presentation gives you some idea of what the gallery is attempting to do internationally, but I hope also that you get some idea and notion of the vibrancy of Preview Berlin and the importance of Berlin in the world's contemporary art scene. So this is a curated stand looking at three artists who are developing this notion of time. The three artists are Dani Meller, who's right behind me, Christian Thompson, who's to my right or your left, and Brian Robinson. Interestingly enough, both Christian Thompson and Dani Meller opened on Tuesday, 2 days ago, at the Royal Academy in London with the major exhibition called Australia, which is the biggest exhibition of Australian art held outside of Australia. And Brian Robinson, about 2 weeks ago, won the Western Australian Art Award, which is a $50,000 award, which is extremely prestigious. So we have three international artists who happen to be Aboriginal Australian, and they're starting to make a place on the world stage. In curating these three artists, we asked them to consider the notion of time, because time in Indigenous Australian society is very different to a Western concept. In a Western concept, time is a narrative. It is essentially analogue. It transfers second after minute, after hour, after day, after year. In Indigenous society, where there is less of a notion of a calendar, time is really centred around important events. So an event occurs and resonates over very long periods of time. So they mark their calendar, they mark their life, they mark their cycles through important events, not in this kind of building of an analogue situation. It's a very different notion of time, and I think the artists have approached that notion in a different way. On my left is Brian Robinson. He's a Tiwi man. He works in lino cut, in very intricate designs, which is this amalgam between Tiwi motif and patination and kind of Western culture. So he's combining his traditional society with a contemporary society. On my right is Christian Thompson, who looks at the notion of a chrysalis and change within a contemporary society. The hood, of course, is a standard motif of contemporary urban life, but when Christian undertakes performance, he actually pulls off the hood so that the hood is actually a multi-layered. So in fact that's one of a series of about 10 or 12 layers that he takes off as a chrysalis, which is quite beautiful. And behind me, Dani Meller, in his drawing, is looking at culture within transference. The blue references 18th century transferware from Europe, and the people and the objects, which are the only colour in the drawing, is actually the only natural thing, which is Indigenous Australia, and the rest represents kind of a transferred culture. So the three of them joined together to kind of look in their own way, through their own medium, at this notion of time. And this, I think, makes it unusual for an art fair in that it's not just an assemblage of objects put together, but we actually try and create an internal dialogue within the stand. And I would really like to thank the Queensland Government for their support, because all three artists, Christian Thompson, Dani Meller and Brian Robinson, are Queenslanders, and the Queensland Government, in their generosity and foresight, have allowed me, or helped me in many respects, to actually be here at this fair. Now, of course, we've had the opportunity this afternoon, before the crowds have come in, to not only view my stand but view the entire fair and realise just, we can see how vibrant, the contemporary art scene is in Berlin. I hope, in a sense, that those who can't make it here over the weekend actually get just some flavour, some little taste or glimpse of just how extraordinary Berlin is. Berlin is the showcase for contemporary art in Europe. Berlin is the capital of Germany. Germany is the engine room of Europe. Everything seems to be happening in Berlin. we've enjoyed it, but I hope those that can't make it will enjoy the video. And if you are in Berlin in the next couple of years, please drop into the gallery. Thank you very much.